I'm Sheldon Robinson, the general manager of the 4040 Club.
And I'm Sherwin Robinson, also general manager of the 4040 Club.
Where are you from?
We're both from St. Croix, USVI.
I think it's, we've been, I guess, fortunate growing up in St. Croix and having the ability to be able to travel, I think, from young to the States and kind of get a little bit of that experience. So we've always been in the public's eye, per se, being identical twins. The jobs my parents do back home, always had us around people. So with our personalities, we've just had a knack for being, we've always been outgoing and just kind of in the forefront of whatever we were trying to do, from kids at home playing soccer growing up, St. Joseph High School, to just wanting to do bigger and better things abroad.
Well, I guess in a sense we've been kind of joined to the hip for most of our lives. After leaving St. Joseph, we went to University of Maryland, College Park. From College Park, we opened up a restaurant in Baltimore called the ESPN Zone. Okay. So we were kind of like the faces of the ESPN Zone, being twins at the front door. That's how we got our start in this industry, starting from the bottom, as a host, and just became that familiar face. And from there, we kind of started our career in this industry. And from the ESPN Zones, we did separate for a little bit, and then we opened the 4040 Club in 2003, and that's when he rejoined me. And then we've been together ever since.
I don't think we ever knew this is what we wanted to do until we kind of got into the business. I think coming in initially, it was a part-time job for us to try to figure out what part of entertainment we wanted to be a part of. We always wanted to be in some form of entertainment. So whether it was in the acting or different things we were auditioning for back in the day, that was a natural, I think, stepping stone for us to get into a form of entertainment, which was the restaurant business, and we just fell in love with it. I think people gravitated to our personalities, and it was like, you guys are good, y'all should stick with this. And Disney, ESPN Zone wanted us to, y'all can be the best you can be right here, and all this and that. We're like, that sounds good. So they painted a good picture for us. We fell in love with it, and we just went with it.
I think it really started with the ESPN Zone. That's kind of where we kind of honed in on our skills and decided that we wanted to follow this passion, passion to deal with people. I think hospitality business is really about the interaction with guests and employees and so forth. So it's something that we kind of knew that we were really good at. And as we started opening more ESPN Zones and moved up in the company, became corporate trainers and management and so forth, we just felt like this is our path. This is what we were supposed to be doing. We both wanted to be doctors. And we went from, pursuing that to into hospitality, which is completely two different fields. And, this is where we found that we were, would be most successful at, and here we are today.
One of his vendors or someone mentioned, hey, Jay's, opening a sports line. You should, back then, we weren't necessarily coming from the same place. I wasn't a hip hop fan. I wanted my reggae, I wanted my R&B, I wanted to kind of feel, that's the kind of vibe I was on back then. Sheldon was like, I'll try it out. Jay-Z's a pretty big name. I didn't really know much about him at all then. And he came and actually interviewed first. They liked him. I think hired him basically on the spot, just about. And then I waited a while, and I saw the hoopla and the media attention and all the celebrity stuff, and he was like never able to answer his phone. He was so busy I couldn't even talk to him. I was like, maybe you need some help. so then he set me up with an interview, and then I came up.
It's kind of hard to describe how it works, but we realized that we work well and feed well off each other. As our starting from Disney and from the ESPN Zones and here and back into the clubs when we left and went to Park and DC and some other stuff. We just, we feed off each other well. So it's not necessarily, even though we don't look at it as we're like co-GMs of a club. We look at it as that we're both managers here to run the club, so we're doing the job of any other manager that would be here. But it's easier on us because we work so well together. sometimes kind of hard to find camaraderie, you know, amongst different people. But it was easy for us because we think alike, you know, we kind of act alike, we move alike. You know, there's differences of opinions at times, but we always find a common ground. So I think, you know, it's seamless, you know.
In most businesses, you have that hierarchy, your general manager, assistant general manager, but we don't really look at the positions. My business card doesn't have a position on it. Both managers of the 40/40 Club. So we kind of look at it that way, where there's a job to get done. When we walk in the door and we open the venue at 5 o'clock, that job has to happen. So from opening the doors to closing the club, someone is responsible for everything that we just kind of make it happen. I mean, first of all, I sure wouldn't recommend. I don't wish my lifestyle to anybody else, really. I'm not just saying, I mean, I love what I do, but we're opposite everybody else. So the norm is not us. So when everyone is out partying, we're working. Or if everyone's on vacation, we're still working. So, you know, it's a whole different sort of lifestyle. When someone sees the final product of a red carpet event and the celebrities that are here, you know, the lead up to that is a lot more stressful. So, you know, the planning, strategizing, the marketing behind the event, you know, getting your staff on the same page, just leading up to opening the doors for that event can be very time consuming. It can be stressful at times, hitting deadlines and so forth. There are a lot of different moving parts, and especially a concept like this, you know, we're not just your typical nightclub. You know, we're a sports lounge, a restaurant, you know, a lot of sort of multifaceted. So you have a lot of different parts of entertainment kind of coming together. Music, you know, it's corporate, it's Jays fans, it's people don't want to watch a sports game, I hear the audio, so many things going on. You have to be able to multitask and do so many different things at once.
Our job is so detail oriented, you know, it's not just the guest experience, but you know, you're dealing with, you know, we have 70 plus odd employees that we're overseeing on any given day, on a busy day, you know. So you're dealing with all their issues, and all of them have different personalities. So patience is one of the biggest things that you have to have doing what we do, you know. You know, I think at this point in our career, we probably make it look easier than it really is, because, you know, again, we're great with people. So whether it's dealing with the guests, whether it's dealing with the staff, you know, overall, you know, people respond to what we want them to respond to. But patience is something you have to have when you deal with so many different personalities. You can't do this job if you don't have patience. I think that's probably a plus for us coming from the Virgin Islands, you know, having a little bit of a slower pace of life, you know, just kind of that one ticket at a time, one day at a time type, you know, mentality in a sense, you know, that we're laid back and we tend to be able to deal with that a little bit better than a lot of other folks. And we've always been involved in counseling and you know, having different sessions and talking to different youths in every state that we've lived in, and I think that's important for us because, you know, that's kind of how we got our start. You know, someone that believed in us when we were young and saw, you know, the potential that we had, and you know, I want the same for the youths. You know, whether they're in the VI or here in New York or wherever the case may be. You know, I think you know, it's a fulfilling part of what we do, being able to give back, you know, and help encourage youth that, you know, hey, doesn't matter where you're from, you know, you can still make it anywhere today, you know. So
yeah, when we, you know, one thing I know when we go home, we used to do like different events, take different celebrities back home and do different things to kind of bring something we do back to the Virgin Islands, back to St. Croix. And you know, I think people automatically see from that hey, you know, there's a lot of people from here that's doing big things in the States. I mean, from, you know, our congresswoman to, you know, I mean, there are a lot of different levels, and people are very successful from home, and I think we see it every day. So as people see us, or they see Timmy or whoever it may be, and they say, well, you know, on different scales, these guys are all successful. That's what I want to do, you know, and that's at the end of the day, that's what I feel we bring to the table. People look at us and say, hey, I want to be able to do something like that, you know, do my own thing on that level. So, I mean, it's a great feeling. Like that song said, Virgin Island Nice.